Birds has announced plans to build a 100-metre-high wind turbine at its UK headquarters, despite previous opposition to some wind farms.
If built, the RSPB hope the turbine will generate around 2/3 of its electricity needs across the UK. The wildlife charity said renewable energy could be developed in harmony with nature.
The self-portraits of hundreds of thousands of children from across the UK have been projected onto Buckingham Palace.
The images were combined to create a giant image of the Queen and form part of the Jubilee celebrations. Organisers say the project sets a new Guinness World Record for the most artists working on the same installation, and it looks fabulous.
Doesn't it? Those are the main stories this morning. 10 minutes past 8 is the time. Laura will have the weather for us in a few minutes' time.
Now, disabled people can find it more difficult than other job seekers to secure employment. So when the government set up a company back in 1945 to provide them with jobs, it seemed like a good solution.
Remploy established a network of factories and still employs thousands of disabled people today, but now they face losing their jobs. The government wants them to work in mainstream employment instead of dedicated workplaces, but unions say they will struggle to find work in the current climate.
In a moment, we will speak to Mike Smith from the charity Disability Rights UK, who's in our London studio. First, though, let's speak to Talit Karim, who has worked for Remploy for 26 years at their site in Oldham. Morning to you. Thanks very much for joining us. Just tell us, so how old were you when you first started work then? What's it been like for you?
So when I left school, because of my disability, I was finding it really hard, to find a job. Eventually, it took me 4 years, and I got a job in Remploy. At that time, I could walk and everything, but now I'm in a wheelchair, but I've still remained at Remploy. Most of the people at Remploy, we have all different types of disabilities, and we're like a community in a way. And when we're all together, we've all got different disabilities. It's a good atmosphere. But in mainstream employment, if we go to, it's going to be a really struggle to fit in the mainstream with employment. Whereas for me, myself, when I'm with winter time, because I got muscular dystrophy, it affects me a lot more. So, and I'm usually off sick for a few times. But in a normal mainstream employment,
that would be difficult.
That would be really difficult.
Yeah. Mike, if you can pick up on that for us. Mike Smith is a trustee from Disabled Rights UK. I mean, clearly hearing Talit's experience, it's hugely important to him, this place of work. Can you see at all the government's argument for seeking these closures?
Well, yes, unfortunately. No one wants to see a disabled person made unemployed. And I really feel for Talit and his colleagues. But these factories were set up 40 years ago, 50 years ago, when attitudes were different. Now, with the organisation that I run in Tower Hamlets in East London, where disabled people support each other to achieve outcomes in life, people want real jobs in the community. They don't want segregated jobs anymore. And the money that goes to spend keeping people in the Remploy factory is segregated from society. It costs 8 times as much as the other access to work scheme that the government runs. That's a scheme that supports people to get the help they need to get jobs in mainstream environments, such as transport to and from work, supporters in the office, special equipment. And that money costs 1/8 of the money it costs to keep someone in a Remploy factory. We need more disabled people in jobs throughout the country.
Yes.
And the money that access to work money spends actually invests, it gets more money back for the Treasury than it actually costs. So it's investing in disabled people to get more jobs, and it helps more people live equally in society.
Well, Talit, can I ask you then, I mean, the gauntlet's been laid down there. You would be better off, some people say, working in a mainstream environment. So what are the prospects for you?
Me, myself, once I leave Remploy with me present condition, I know that I'll probably not get suitable employment elsewhere, what will cater for my needs. So basically, I prefer working at Remploy. That's why I've been there that long.
Mike, can we pick up on a couple of points that Talit makes, specifically about the fact that his disability has changed quite a lot over the years. They've been able to cope with that. Are other employers able to cope, have the infrastructure in order to be able to do that, do you think?
Well, the starting point I really want to say is that the government have announced about £8 million to support Talit and his colleagues into other roles. it is questionable whether that's enough. If you've been in an institution all your life, you need a lot of extra support to move into different environments. But there are lots of disabled people all over the country who do have jobs in mainstream environments with the right support, with the right adaptations, with the right reasonable adjustments. You can do jobs in mainstream environment. And we need the right support to help these people move over to those other kinds of jobs. The thing is, it's an old-fashioned model for a bygone era. We need more integration and more involvement in real society, and you can do that.
OK.
Talit, can we give you your last thoughts? I mean, what have you been told about your immediate future? Have you given any time frame about when things might change?
Well, probably at the moment we're in talks with Remploy. We started in 19th of March, and they give us 90 days, and the unions are still. They've not mentioned anything of what they're doing yet. So we just Remploy people are campaigning, you know, and I think that with the current climate, there's hardly any jobs there. You know, I'm actually working at Remploy, so why should I lose my job at Remploy, find another job where I'm already in a job? You know, so basically, most of the people I know at our factory will probably not get another job with the kind of disability they've got.
Well, good luck with that, Talit. Thank you very much for coming to see us.
Thank you very much. Also, thank you to Mike Smith, who's Disability Rights UK. Thank you both very much. Time now is 16 minutes past 8.
Coming up on the programme today.
Everything's got a bit of a memory for me, you know, so it's almost a chronology of my life sort of stored in sort of records.
It's Record Store Day tomorrow, and Narina Palo is one of the many artists releasing a 7-inch vinyl to mark the occasion. She'll be here along with Six Music's Chris Hawkins.